Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lucia and I am here today with another scrapbooking video. I'm super excited about this one because I collect postcards and we're using one of them in here today. So what I've been doing is choosing a different color story every time, and today's color is going to be pink. I'm really excited because I have already collected some things here. Let me show you. This is just random paper that I painted on. Every time I finish a piece of artwork, I go ahead and just brush the excess paint on paper, and then I'll use this in my scrapbook. I'll do the same and put it on a plastic sheet. And then I have this little gift tag, random pink envelope. I also have the most beautiful postcard. I collect postcards and I thought that would go amazingly. So what I usually do is, if you haven't seen any of the prior videos, I choose 2 to 3 main images and then go from there. So for me, my main image is going to be this postcard and this piece of paper. So then we'll go off of that. I also use magazines. I explained in my other videos that depending on the journal that I'm working on, then that's what I include in it. I have journals that are more like a junk journal. That's not what we're doing here. This is more like a collage. And I also have another journal where I use for my travels and special occasions, and that's obviously a little bit different. I include personal photos. It is more elaborate, but this is more simple, a collage, something you can do 15-20 minutes, even half an hour, or you can do it in 10 minutes if that's the only time that you have. Also, this is a great activity for you and your family, your kids, your friends. I did this for my birthday. I do it all the time. This is a daily thing for me. It is a hobby, and it's one of those things that also relaxes me. So I hope it does the same for you. This is going to be a talking video. We're going to get into some things, not exactly sure what, but I can talk my butt off. So I'm sure we'll have some sort of story time. So let's just get started here. If you're doing this with me, then grab your supplies, anything really. And if you want to do the same color story as me, then let's do pink. I'm going to go into this little box and see if I have any papers that I can use. I got all these little papers on, I was going to say Instagram, on Amazon. And then just see it if I have any similar tones, then I'll grab that. Doesn't have to be exact, and I may or may not use them, but I just want to have them near me so I have the option to use them. I have these little booklets of washi tape. Sometimes I will have an actual theme within the color story. Like this is pretty romantic to me, so I will choose images that exude romance, and I will link all of this in my Amazon storefront. I rarely update it. I don't even use it, but I know for things like this, if you haven't discovered it yet, I think that's the cool thing about the Amazon storefront. I know I've discovered a lot of products from there through other people. This is light, that's the one that I just looked through, and this is street. I don't think I want to do anything that has to do with the street, so I like that. That's cute. Doesn't have that much pink. I'm going to look through a couple of magazines first really quickly, see if I see any pink images. I want to do this very quick. I mentioned, I don't want to keep repeating myself in these videos, but I mentioned how I love things with a lot of texture in them. So I grab this, this, and these. I like this texture and I like the velvet. So maybe I will use this portion and then keep this to the side to use at another time. Something I mentioned as well is that I don't like any straight lines when I'm doing it. The edges and the corners okay, but not for the rest of it. I think I love this there. I'm just going to place things randomly and see how I can incorporate it. To remove the blue, and then I feel like this may be a bit too harsh for what I'm going for, so I'll use that at a later time. This image also has a bit of lavender. Let me bring you in a little bit so you can really see the tones. Now let's speak a little bit about romance, since that seems to be the theme today. I know that Valentine's Day is coming up, and there are people who don't celebrate it at all, that don't believe in all of these holidays, and they could honestly care less. I don't mind it. I don't really have a problem with any holiday. I think it's up to you to decide if you want to celebrate it or not. Okay, so this is the first piece that I want to put here, and I'm putting these tabs on because I don't want to destroy the entire postcard. I like collecting old postcards. They make me really happy. And if they have a message, even better. I know some people think that's strange, but I like to preserve history, and I think people's lovely messages to their loved ones also brings a lot of love into the world, even from the past. So I don't have an issue with it. I think if someone found my postcards to my loved ones and my friends and they wanted to put it in their scrapbook while I'm no longer on this earth anymore, or maybe I am, I think that's so wonderful that you found something special in someone else's special bond and connection and relationship. Anyway, this one doesn't have a message, but it is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I've just had these sitting there in a box, and I think it's time to start incorporating them into my actual journals. I'm not going to explain too much of the process. Oh, okay, let me just put this here first. While this is drying, I want to speak a little bit about romance itself. It is near, I was going to say Thanksgiving, near Valentine's Day. Sometimes we think about romance as something between two people, kissing and candles and all these things, and that is part of romance, but I think the first definition that I heard of romance is actually romanticism, which is about the arts and literature. So that's where my mind goes when I think about romance. And when I think about romance, I think about the images and the arts and the poetry. And I try to choose images that bring me that. So to me, this obviously is art, but within it is poetry for me. When you bring in the roses, when you bring in the different stories that are happening, when you see, you know, people smiling and dancing, all of that is poetry being expressed through emotion, and not human emotion, because obviously these are drawings, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. That romance isn't just about what's going on between you and a romantic partner. Obviously, all of that is amazing as well, but I think when we think about romance in that way, then it seems as though it cannot exist without another person, and it absolutely can. And I know that now people speak about, oh, romanticizing your life. And I think that's how it should always be. It shouldn't just be a trend. It shouldn't be a thing of like, oh, let me take myself on a solo date. That should already be a thing. We're here to live, to experience, to see the beauty in all things. And I really want to do that in everything that I do. Even if it's just scrapbooking, you know, or art, or makeup, or watching film. I think all of that is romance. And then you can also express romance with colors and with textures. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And I also believe that if you are someone who cannot stand Valentine's Day, because that is coming up, that if you look at romance a bit differently, then maybe you change your mind about it. I know some people get really bitter around this time that there's couples. The way that I see it is, you can have that all on your own. If you're expecting someone to buy you chocolates and flowers all the time, do that for yourself. Do it for yourself. You are the example. And I've never waited for someone to give me what I want. If I want flowers, I get them for myself. And you should. You should definitely spoil yourself, not expect everyone else to do that for you. I think that sometimes we expect too much from others and you end up being disappointed, you know? Especially when it comes to romance. We want a certain thing because maybe that's how it was shown to you through other people, through your parents' relationship. And at some point you have to realize that you need to figure out what your own definition of romance is, right? Like for me, as I said, it's art, it's literature, but it goes beyond that. It comes in form of poetry, and all those things can be found in people and actions. But first and foremost, I bring that into my life through the things that I do and the things that I create and the things that I put out there into the world. And I hope that resonates with some of you. And maybe this is a different perspective. Maybe you've thought it and never were able to articulate why something feels different for you, but that's just the way that I see it. That's my 2 cents on romanticism and romance. Now, if you think romance is corny, completely valid. But I also think romance should be corny. Not everything is meant to be so plain and without essence and without heart. And if you're asking yourself, well, I want to romanticize my life a little bit more, I just don't know how to, I don't know where to begin, I think you can start by thinking about, to you, what is romantic? That's it. It's very simple. What does that mean to you? If it means that your boyfriend, girlfriend, someone is buying you flowers or taking you to a nice dinner or buying you a little gift or pampering you, whatever you think is romantic, start there and write it down. To me, or my definition of romance is this, and this. And then you can go from there. Okay, well, romance as an example, right? To me, romance is receiving, let's say, flowers. And then you can start incorporating that into your life by, if you have a garden, cut some flowers, put them in a vase, and choose intentionally what to do with those things, and choose to intentionally pay attention in those moments. It isn't just about you having flowers in a vase. It is about you either going to pick out the flowers, spending that time intentionally, not on your phone, not thinking about anything else. And I'm speaking if you want to romanticize your personal life without including someone else into the picture of romanticism, because I think that people should have that, whether they're in a couple or not, whether they're married or not, single or not. I think incorporating that into your life will actually bring you so much joy, and a lot of us don't do that. We're always waiting for someone else to bring that joy and happiness to us, and we really have to find it within ourselves, within, like I said, the things that we do, the things that we consume, the things that we create. And as I said, you choosing the flowers or going to your garden and cutting them, being present in the moment and realizing, wow, how lucky am I to be here now, that I can smell the flowers, that I can feel the petals, taking all of that in. I mean, actually physically holding the flowers in your hand and caressing them and saying, wow, the texture, it's velvety, it's soft, it smells amazing. All of that is romance. And the colors and how it changes and the veins throughout the flowers, all of these things maybe people don't pay attention to, right? Because it's something that is so everyday and so typical. But if you start paying attention to those smaller details within the mundane, then all of that is romance. So you can start there. Everything that you expect from other people, start doing it for yourself, start enjoying it for yourself and no one else, and you'll see how all of a sudden your entire life will be filled with romance. I know, because that's what I do, and it's made me a lot more patient and also passionate and grateful for life itself. For when things are tough, there's still beauty to appreciate, and that can be, again, in anything, not just flowers. It can be in your matcha, it could be in your coffee, it can be in your breakfast. It can literally be everything and anything. I feel like I just went on a rant. But I honestly feel that way. All of my friends that I've had in my life, my adult life, I have told them this. I mentioned in my, I don't know if it was the last video or the one before that, that I had different content on here, and it was about self-growth, but that I wanted to change it into being more about personal stories. And it can include all that, right? I'm obviously telling you what I think and my experience and things I choose to believe in. But I made a video back then about solo dating and how everyone should do that. And it's not about going grocery shopping. It's about, if you do go grocery shopping, then make it intentional and pay attention and not be on your phone and just be in the moment. And on top of that, realizing that if, let's say if you're a single person like me, just because you're doing everything on your own, it doesn't mean that every single moment is a solo date. Solo dating means you are spending intentional time with yourself, with your thoughts, with your feelings, and making that a moment. And we hardly ever do that, you know? I don't just mean single people, but I'm talking to single people right now. Married people, they have a whole different life and they can incorporate it as well. I'm not married, but I think if married people could spend a little bit more time romanticizing the mundane and the everyday and, you know, the things they have to get done and even the things they do for their partners. If you start romanticizing the moments that you just can't seem to appreciate, I think people would be a bit happier. You know, we're always wanting more, but sometimes, gosh, the most simple things can make you happy. Like this that I'm doing now, and if you're doing it as well. This brings me so much happiness. I'm creating something with my own hands that is going to inspire me, that will hopefully resonate with other people. But it's, again, it's not about other people. If I'm doing this and you're watching and you don't give it a like and you don't subscribe and you think it's boring or all these other things, it is what it is. I mean, that's not, it shouldn't affect what I'm doing here, you know? Okay, I got disconnected. I don't really know what happened. I hope I didn't lose footage. Said I had a network error and I was connected to, so I have a monitor in front of me so I can kind of see what I'm doing and I don't want to get off frame. And it said I got disconnected. I don't know if that affected the video itself. This is something new for me to be recording so much and running out of space. Okay. And I hope the audio is okay. I'm wearing my mic and just hoping it's all good. I don't know where I was. Probably saying sorry for my rant. Sorry, but not sorry. You know what else is romantic? Candles. And I'm so tired of people saying, because I've heard this before, Oh yeah, of course you like candles. You're a woman. Not true. First of all, I didn't always love candles. That's a new thing for me. I think if you think that way, then maybe you should buy yourself a candle. There's a thing called aromatherapy, and that has nothing to do with gender, FYI. So, not me scolding my audience right now. I'm just saying that if you feel that way, then you should check out some candles. I'm very sensitive, so I can't have anything too strong. And I get it. Some people don't like them either, but what I mean is, what candles can bring you quickly is romance. And not only the scent, but the lighting that it creates, the warmth. All of these edges I'll cut in a little bit. This is another thing that's completely romantic to me, is typewriters, handwritten letters, and it can be handwritten letters to your friends or a birthday card, but there's something about that I love just so much. To me, handmade gifts are so beautiful. I feel that when someone hand makes you something, I feel like you can almost sense the love they have for you. And I know this because I've received handmade gifts before, and they just bring this sense of feeling that I don't get with anything else. When someone makes something, I always think, wow, they know what I like. They heard me, or I had no idea that they paid attention to X, Y, and Z. And I think it's so special. So my next video is going to be making a handmade card for somebody for Valentine's Day, and it's going to be romantic and corny and beautiful, and I am excited. So I'm recording this video and then the next video right after this. Well, after I have some lunch. It's going to be a lunchtime soon. I shouldn't be inhaling this. I get it. Just the edges a little bit. This reminds me of, I think I was like 12 and 13. I don't know. Something like that. I would do this a lot. I loved burning paper. It just reminded me of like old books, and yeah, love that. What is wrong with me? It's probably because I'm hungry now. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. Now go do something romantic for yourself, for your partner, for life itself. I will see you in the next video.